Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is all about phone mounts. Whether you have a dual sport bike, adventure, or a dirt bike, if you want to mount your phone, well, you've got options. And today we're going to point out the 3 different phone mount options that we carry from Ram Mounts, Peak Designs, and Quad Lock. I'll talk about the pros and cons of each, what each brand offers, and hopefully help you decide which you feel is going to be best for you. But I would love it if you use one of these brands. Well, which setup do you use? What have you liked? What have you disliked about it? That's going to help other people looking to pick up their next phone mount. So let's kick it off with Ram Mounts. Now, before I dive into this, let me just say that all 3 of these brands are going to offer multiple different ways to mount the actual mount itself to your motorcycle, whether it's directly to your handlebar. You're going to have steering stem mounts for street bike and cafe applications. You're going to have options where you can just go directly through the bolt on your handlebar clamp. So that's going to be rider preference and where you want to mount your setup. But this is going to be more about the actual mount itself and how your phone attaches to that. So Ram Designs or Ram Mounts, they've been around a very long time, and a lot of people know them. They are known for using their 1-inch ball and socket design. And what's great about them is that they have a lot of different mounting options. So they're going to have you covered. All 3 of these are going to have some sort of vibration damper that you can pick up. It's going to come included with some, not with others. And they all do have a charging option as well. So no matter what your needs are, they're going to have you covered. But with Ram, there's really 2 different phone mount options. The first one is actually what I've got my phone in right now. This is their quick grip. So this one's pretty straightforward. So you mount it, phone goes up and in. And then I would just connect to the 1-inch ball that you would screw in here to the back. So you have this option, and then you have the X grip. So the X grip is one that we've actually used quite a bit here at Rocky Mountain. The way this one works is I would just take my fingers and pinch this, drop my phone in, and that holds it secure. Now with the X grip, something to note is that it will come included with this rubber backing. This is actually to go around the corners of your phone just to hold it more secure. And I'm telling you right now, you want to use this because we did have a rider one time lose his phone because he wasn't using this and his phone rattled out of the X grip itself. So make sure. Couple things about Ram Designs that you would want to know. So they've been around a long time. And look, I'm going to be totally honest with you. Comparing this to the Peak Designs and the Quad Lock, it's bulkier, it's not as streamlined, it's not as good looking, and it is a little bit more work to get your phone in and out. But if you already have a few Ram products and you just want to pick up the phone mount, hey, you're going to save yourself a little bit of money. The other thing I noticed too with this X grip is that you just got to be a little bit careful because these tend to or can hit your buttons on the side of your phone. So just something to be mindful of. But that is Ram Mounts. Again, they've got a lot of great mounting options. Those are the 2 phone clips that you have to choose from. The next option we have is from Peak Designs. Now this is on our Husky Norden here. This is the bike that Michael actually took on a 4-day adventure ride that we did down in Death Valley. And this is his phone that I'm holding now, his whole setup. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now that what you need to know off the bat with Peak Designs and then Quad Lock, which we're gonna get to next, is that when you get one of these systems, you're investing into an entire ecosystem. These companies make a lot more than just motorcycle mounts. They make a lot of other mounts for other applications, for photography, a lot of things like that. And so the reason that you're kind of getting in their ecosystem is because these phone mounts require you to either use one of their phone cases, or in this case, Michael actually has a universal plate from Peak Designs that's adhesive backed that he put onto his phone case he already had. Quad Lock is going to have the same thing. You either have to buy their phone case or get this universal plate to go to the back of your phone. That's how they're going to attach. Now, knowing that, they're also going to have a lot of different mounting options for different spots on your motorcycle. Again, that's going to be rider preference. They're going to have wireless chargers, USB chargers. What I like about Peak Designs and what stands out about these 2 especially is you can just see it's a lot more sleek, low profile than the Ram mounts. And if I'm being honest, these are just a lot more current. They're just better looking in my opinion anyway. Now, how the Peak Design attaches is, it's actually really, really cool. So it's a magnetic system, but it still clips into place so it's on there well. You just take it and it just pops on there. It's that easy. It's one-handed operation. So it's gonna stay on there nice and snug. Like I said, Michael had this on a 4-day adventure ride down at Death Valley. We were going fast, off-road, aggressive riding, stayed in place perfect the whole time. He had 0 issues. And what I like is that to release it, all you have to do is just press one of the 2 tabs that are on the back and it just pops right off. It is that easy. And you can do it vertical. You can also mount it horizontally as well. And again, Peak Designs, they make a lot of other really great products, but for Michael, he's loved this setup, has had no issues with it. It's worked great. All right, last but not least, quad lock. So this is actually the setup that I've been using for a while. I use this on that multi-day adventure ride with Michael in Death Valley, and it's worked great for me. Now, as I mentioned, like Peak Designs, you're investing into their ecosystem, so you gotta have either their phone case, which I have, or you need to have that universal plate, which they also do offer, that just mounts to the back of most phone cases. Now, it's not quite as intuitive how it connects to their mount, but it's still very, very simple, easier than the RAM mounts. And how it works is simple. It's one-handed operation. You just drop it on here, press down, clicks into place. So again, we're splitting hairs here, but not quite as good as the Peak Designs. But then to release it, the little tab in the back, you just press that down and it rotates right off. Like Peak Designs, you can go vertical. You can also go horizontal. Now, the quad lock does not come, their mount does not come with a vibration damper included. You would buy that separate. So I actually do have that mounted up right now just so you can see what that looks like. But again, 4 days in Death Valley, the only issue I had, and this is a small fix, is that this center bolt right here did come a little bit loose. So I just put some medium thread locker on there. I've had no issues since. But you can see as far as how thick they are and streamlined, they're both very, very similar. They're both gonna offer similar mounting options. They both have their chargers that you can choose from. So for me, quad lock, it's been a great system. I've had no issues. Now, let me just tell you this. Between the quad lock and the Peak Designs, you've seen it, they're very, very comparable. And what I would recommend is when you're shopping between these two is you have to remember that they make a lot more than just motorcycle mounts. So I would do some research and look at the other applications and the other accessories that these companies offer. And if there's some other applications, whether it's for auto, marine, photography, doesn't matter, see what they offer and what other products might be enticing to you, and just know, okay, that's the ecosystem that I want to be a part of. Because between these two, you could give me either one and I'm gonna be totally happy. But if you have more questions or comments about them, please leave those down below. We'd love to get those answered. One last thing I did forget to mention, I think it's kind of worth noting, is that both Peak Designs and Quad Lock, they do offer a mount that has a 1-inch ball on the back. So if you already do have some RAM mount products and you already have, say, maybe their arm and you just need the ball with the foam mount, they offer that for you. We ship for free over 75 bucks. Click the link or head to RockyMountainATVMC.com to shop all the different foam mount options that we offer. Again, which one do you have? What have you liked? What have you disliked about it? Which one are you thinking of going with? Those little things are gonna help other people out when they're trying to decide what setup's gonna be best for them. Get subscribed to our YouTube channel if you're not already, if you wanna stay up to date on cool videos like these. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.